Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. And today I am going to be edutaining you on all things Kang, or let's call it a Kang thing. And we're going to start off from the beginning. It might be this one video. I might do a couple of videos. Don't know. Depends on how I feel. Depends on how much information you get. But before I get off into that, I want y'all to get into a little something for me. Ding, ding, ding. Comment, like, subscribe, and share to the Be Real with D Real page so that when new information and materials come out, you get first crack at them. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share to the Be Real with D Real page. Now that we got all that out of the way, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do we have here? Avengers number 8, all the way back in 1964. I had no idea when this comic book first came out that Kang was going to end up being a black guy. Really? Well, I mean, it has been revealed in the Loki series on Disney Plus that Kang will be portrayed by Jonathan Majors. So, yeah, Kang's a brother. And that is an interesting ramification / development. Before everything goes haywire, let's dive in. Kang the Conqueror. Okay, here we are, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby comics. You know what I'm saying? This is a Stan Lee and Jack Kirby comic. Sink your teeth muscles into this. Here are the Avengers, and they are headed to what I believe is a meeting in Avengers Mansion. They're headed to a meeting. I guess they're having their monthly, and everybody's just like, move out of the way. Move out of the way, move out of the way. And so they're getting their little, I mean, let's look at this. Okay, 1964, that was the tech of the day. And look here, people. Look who's working the technology. It's Thor. So for you people who say Thor don't understand technology, I think I saw somebody on, hey, was it Chillmonger? Yeah, I think it was. They were asking, does Thor understand how to work? Clearly, all the way back at Avengers number 8, it's working technology. Anywho, they're having a meeting with the Pentagon, as I said, and they're telling them about this ship that has landed and blasted a big glass area out. They tried to fight, but as you can see, the army didn't do so well. Look at them; they look like little green army men. Maybe that's what Jack Kirby was thinking about. Army men? Yeah, let me draw army men. And there, a door opened, and who emerged? Yep, you guessed it. And he lets them know he's Kang. And he don't want to talk to no underlings. He want to talk to the people in charge. And underneath that mask, he does not look like a black man. Of course, they were not thinking about putting a black man in a comic book in 1964, at least not as an overpowering villain. And so they want the Avengers to handle this problem. And of course, Captain America, being the American he is, of course we're going to help. Now, I think this is weird. There's a jet waiting for us now at JFK Airport. Let's go. Nobody asked. Well, they got Stark money. Guess they don't have to. And so they're headed to Virginia. So the Avengers' first meeting with Kang takes place not in Virginia, I mean, not in New York, but in Virginia. Isn't that the plane which is carrying the Avengers? How did they know that? 60s comics. And just like that, you know what I'm saying? From this panel to flying off to we hopping out the plane and running up on them. Why do they have Rick Jones with them? Because he's that X factor. So moving on. Kang told him time don't mean nothing to him. Thor finds his confidence disturbing. Everybody else is just going to wait. Iron Man told him to state your business here by order of the Avengers. And he lets him know, Conquest, man, my name, Kang the Conqueror. It's in my name. And with a touch of a button, he sends them all. Well, all except Thor. He sent his hammer into subspace and allowing it to re-enter your own space continuum after it no longer poses a threat to me. See, Thor knows about science. Look at him. He knows that science is beyond current science. And I would think that's more of a time thing. I guess later on they'll retcon it to be something of that nature. But here they are caught up in an anti-gravity field. That shouldn't be anything for Iron Man. He's just hit the boot jets and get to moving. Cap telling everybody, loosen up, let your body go limp. Okay, Iron. Sure, Cap. Uh-oh. The army showing up. And we all know when the army shows up, there are people in suits not far behind. Stand aside. I will conduct the proceedings from this point on. It's the undersecretary from the Defense Department. So not the Secretary of Defense, but the undersecretary. Got it. Kang possesses powers which seem totally alien to us. We shall remain on guard. Now, this is very un-American. Americans asking people to explain their hostile actions. Hello, Pot. My name's Kettle. And Kang, I ain't explaining jack to y'all. I'm going to just let y'all know that y'all can't beat me. How about that? And we go back to Fantastic Four 19, where Pharaoh Ramatut, who is actually Kang, and he met Dr. Doom. Hey, look, he is black right there. Pharaoh Ramatut. Look at that. But he's just telling them basically, he traveled through time. And he came out in the era of the year 4000. And from there, he became a warlord and went on to conquer. And so, possessing the greatest scientific knowledge of all time, armed with weapons which you have no defense, I proclaim myself Kang the First, ruler of the 20th century. Uh-oh. That means it's some fighting getting ready to go down. What? See, next time, Giant Man, when you grab somebody like that, you need to snap some bones, break something, because when you don't, this is what happens. He's starting to hum. He's not getting ready to whistle. That's getting ready to happen. I like those Jack Kirby action sequences, getting knocked aside with so much force you can't even see how fast he's moving away because it ain't no color or nothing. 60s comics. And Kang said that's just an example. He like Clubber Lang. You getting up, I got a lot of more. Of course, Thor's had enough, so he's turning it into hammer time. Uh-oh, he's throwing it again? He said, bump it. This time, I'm just going to bump. I'm going to let it hit an antimatter screen capable of disintegrating anything on Earth that it may touch. Fortunately for Thor, his hammer is not of Earth. And here comes the wasp. Doing that, I'm going to creep up on you, Thang. And gets in there, actually. Well, for a second anyway, because after she gets in, this is what happened. Kang, so-called, he got an alarm in his armor for when little people are trying to get inside of it. At least this will give the others a chance to attack. And that is precisely what Cap is doing. Gotcha. Cap is always the one who can land a hit. Yay for our star-spangled super soldier. But don't get excited yet, Kang, because as the buzz on his belt indicates, some shit about to jump off. Told y'all, he ain't waste no time. He like, get in my ship and be depowered. And this was during a time when Thor was actually had a secret identity of Donald Blake, and for some strange reason, passing through this electromagnetic field turned Thor back into Donald Blake. So now everybody is captured by Kang. Oh me, oh my, what shall we do? Well, certainly can't listen to the army, but they ain't caving in. Wasp didn't get captured. So what's she gonna do? This was the 1960s, so they don't care nothing about women. They don't. I mean, don't get mad at me. She's free, but for some strange reason, not taking action. Rick Jones and his team brigade get onto the ship, drop some stuff, and are like, hey, we need to free the Avengers. Where are they at? Oh, teenagers know how to figure out what futuristic 40th century technology does. 60s comics. And Thor, his field's up so he can turn back into Thor, get out. Iron Man's like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, ouch. And look at the thought bubble. Thor, in his Donald Blake persona, he's having trouble with his heart. More than you know, bro. And Wasp is flying with some ants to implement a weapon that they know will stop Kang. Kang's been spending all his time sealing this energizer. And that's given the Team Brigade time to get the Avengers free, and here they come, and Giant Man catches a ray to the gut. Cap's a little smarter, he puts up his shield. And meanwhile, they've given Giant Man the weapon, so he can make with that weapon shotty before anything happens to Thor or Thor gets overpowered. And sure enough, bam, they've messed up Kang's suit. So with Kang's suit messed up, he can't give them all the hell he was giving them earlier. So he says, I'm gonna hit y'all with my neutrino missile. Neutrinos. Now, pardon me if I'm wrong, neutrinos are dangerous as of Avengers #8, but I can recall a Avengers comic later on in the 80s where the Black Knight was encouraging Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, to try to turn herself into neutrinos and told her that they were as safe as mother's milk. Well, don't matter, because Iron Man sent it flying and melted some chunks of his ship. But Kang's like, hey, I'm from the future. I got futuristic technology, so I can get up out of here. which he does. So the Avengers, outclassed and outgunned, somehow with their teamwork, managed to find a way to overcome Kang the Conqueror and his 40th century technology. Okay, that's an issue with Kang in it. It's not the only time we're going to see Kang. Kang would return about 15 issues later, giving the Avengers hell, a different incarnation of Avengers. But they end up becoming enemies as well as allies. What? That's a story for another time. If y'all want to know more about Kang, if y'all want me to keep pushing through and talk a little bit more about Kang, drop it in the comments. And as always, I will be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.